This is Digging Deeper Without the Coalface, brought to you with the support of New South Wales Mining, responsibly mining coal for today and tomorrow, with experts restoring the land after mining at every single mine. And here's your host, Jessica Rouse.
I hardly believe it's 2026 and we are sitting down to record the first episode of Digging Deeper Without the Coalface for 2026. We're all snuggled up in my dining room. It's me and the three boys from Nightwork Nutrition, Lockie, Jai and Jim. Boys, thanks for joining us.
No worries. Thanks for having us, Jess.
My pleasure. Let's go back to all of you and your start in mining, because obviously that's where you all met. That's where you all made your initial connection. So let's start with you, Lockie.
So our first introduction in the mining industry was at the end of 2016, I think we started. A traineeship, haul truck traineeship at Bulga Coal. And it wasn't until a couple of months in that we really all connected. Was it, Jai? We had a similar interest in the fact that we love being down the shovel.
Yeah.
The hydraulic or the electric shovel, for those who don't know what that is. I'm sure you can look it up. But and we found that it was a pretty tough time in the mining industry at that point in time. And we found the best thing that we could do was we would drive to the dump, we would wait at the tip head, and we would drive down side by side together and back in the shovel simultaneously and just throw a massive fist pump across to each other.
We didn't know each other.
And that was the first time we really locked eyes and met. And then, became best mates after that ever since. So
9 years now we've been out there.
And then it wasn't, several months later when we got a permanent crank, and then we actually moved crews, still on the trucks. And then we ran into Jim on B crew, and then straight away, same thing, just another one to add to the crew. And
yeah, I was a bit of a late bloomer, but get in once your boys sort of made the shift over to B crew, better crew. But yeah.
I love it. I've done a few interviews this week, and sadly, not the best situation to be in this morning was at a funeral, and it's so awesome to see the connections that everyone makes in mining. I mean, you make mates in mining, and 40 years later, you're still mates. Like, the connections that you guys make are unreal.
Yeah, it comes down to culture, and that's sort of, it came natural for all of us. The time we were out there, I guess the vibes were all high. We fell in love with mining, and then I guess the connection we all had together, we really drove the culture as well, and a lot of people were pretty happy with that, to see the impact we had on ourselves and others around us, and we took that with us.
I think also as well, a lot of people grow a big connection to each other out in mining is because you're stuck out there all hours.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Day, night, no matter if it's a third shift, fourth shift, you're onto your second or third night shift, you're all there together. You're going to be tired. You're going to miss out on family events, weekend things, and you just sort of grow a bond. They just become, I guess, like your family in a way. So, I guess that's why you find a lot of people who work in mining or similar shift work roles become pretty close.
I think the funny thing for us was everyone started asking, like, how long have you guys known each other? Like, have you guys all three of you grown up together? And we're like, no, we only met it out at Bulga, driving trucks. And everyone's kind of gone down their own path and had a pretty interesting career. We've all been in the industry nearly 10 years. So, Jim is the master of pumps. He's Jai's on one of the biggest excavators at Bulga.
Yeah.
I've gone through operating, mining, engineering, and have moved to a different site now. So, but it's still the same attitude wherever we go, and we learned that pretty early on from a couple of older shovel operators to what was it? Always have a crack.
Just have a crack.
Yeah, just
in everything.
Just whatever you do, be the best truck driver, be the best dozer operator, be the best at anything you can do. So it's really set us up for some pretty strong life lessons.
Yeah, and the perfect team now for Nightwork Nutrition. So let's get into that. And that was started, Lockie and Jim, you guys really came together with the initial idea when you were on shift one night.
Yeah, so I guess how it came about was I was doing a bit of a stint on the truck. And for anyone that drives trucks, they'll know that it's pretty monotonous, you know, just driving around the same circuits, doing the same speeds. And sort of past the time, I sort of needed my brain to tick over. There's only so many radio songs you can listen to. So I started listening to a lot of different types of podcasts, and one of them was about shift work and nutrition and sleep, and sort of really showed how bad shift work actually is for you.
Yeah.
And look, the thing with shift work, it's always going to be there. You're always going to need emergency service workers. You're always going to need nurses, and I guess miners to an extent. So how it's sort of set up in my mind that how can we do this in a way that we can look after our health, that being physical health and mental health. And it's essentially, I was drinking a meal replacement shake at the time. I'm not going to say who it was, but I actually found that it sort of made me feel a lot better with a lot of the essential minerals and vitamins and everything that was in the meal replacement shake. And I was like, why isn't there anything out there for shift workers specifically? And not only that, just an educational platform as well. Because I went online to try and find some stuff, and there wasn't a great deal out there. So I sort of sparked that in my head. And I've always been someone that's, I guess, business-minded and worked, started businesses and that before. So I guess it was really a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then, you know, being sort of close to both these boys, I went to Locke and said, hey, look, I've got this idea. Do you want to sort of kick this off with me? We had no idea what to do. We thought it was going to cost, you know, bugger all money. We had all these high hopes, and we didn't know anything about nutrition. Like, we're a bunch of coal miners, you know. So I guess that's where the research started. We started digging in, looking online, and started formulating how we're going to do this. And then we realised that, like, look, we could do this, but we need someone else. We need that extra factor. And we obviously matched with Jai. I knew Jai had been part of businesses in the past with Aftermath, and we decided to bring Jai on board. And that was, I guess, the missing element that we needed. And then we just sort of, I guess, kept progressing further, and a couple of years later, here we are.
I think one of the big things to note too, it was literally, I was sitting in Queensland. I get a message from Jim, hey, let's start a business. I think in 48 hours we'd registered a business, had a name. Things just happened so quickly, and then we got to the point where we're like, oh, we actually need some help actually getting a product, and we were going to business seminars in Newcastle, like turning up to free events, and then Jim's like, oh, there's another one, let's go again. Yeah. And then, you know, one thing led to another, and we got onto some key people who used to work with Sanitarium and give us some pointers and formulate the meal replacement shake. And then I don't know how many manufacturers Jim reached out to, but 30 odd at least.
Yeah. At least. There was a lot. There was a lot of phone calls and emails and knockbacks and minimum order quantities of 50,000. It was ridiculous. But thankfully, our manufacturer took us on board, and we have a really good relationship with them, just like we do with every other person that's sort of helped us out within business. So, stoked on how it turned out. But a lot of grinding to begin with, a lot of boring stuff and crossing fingers. But we got there, and obviously it's still a learning curve for us, and we just keep going every single day and keep learning and adapting. But it's good. And now having the three of us, a couple of years in, we're able to sort of keep sort of pursuing our goal, really.
But and what about, like, just as we started to, Jai, and we asked you, some of the stuff that you in your personal life that you might want to touch on.
I was going through a bit of stuff in the personal life, and also the week that the boys approached me, it was the same week that my father, he had throat cancer for many, many years, and he got told that you no longer can eat solid foods because the muscles and the tissue in his throat's gone, so he couldn't chew. And he said to me, like, mate, I can't really eat solid food. I have to start drinking protein shakes and sausage and stuff like that. So I said, Dad, you're not going to believe it, but Jim and Locke are formulating a meal replacement shake for shift workers, and I think this is going to benefit you as well, as he still works. He still works night shift, and jumped on it straight away, invested into the business, and then we all put all three of our brains together and created the Night Revive.
And he still has it every day.
He's the weekly subscriber. Number one customer. He shows so much support. He has it every week. And the best thing is, it's gotten him through. He's gained more life. He was someone that was just, he was going downhill, but now seeing the change in him, he's so energetic. He's got his step back. He's he's been able to get the nutrients in that he needs, and he just loves it. And he's now inspiring others around him that are in and have gone through the same thing with cancer, that there is now something out there that you can have to help as a meal replacement shake with none of the bad stuff in it. And,
Yeah.
and he's now helping other cancer patients as well.
That's awesome. I feel like you've glossed over it, but this is a huge undertaking. I mean, not only is it just a business, it's a food. So I imagine you've had to be tasting stuff, checking what's in it. There's the packaging, there's the shipping it. There's so much to it.
Yeah, it's a lot more than just a couple of grand in an Instagram photo, that's for sure. there's a lot more to it.
Like even the sampling, like you just touched on, Jess, we'd get heaps of packets delivered, and we'd all go around and do blind tastings in little shot glasses, didn't we? And we all ran little trials, and I forgot about all that.
I remember when we first got vanilla to try out. Obviously, you're going to give it to people, and they're going to give you a biased view, like your parents, stuff like, oh, it's really, really good. So what we decided to do was run blind testing. So I got my family, immediate family, and some other cousins, and some people in the neighbourhood to come over, and I went out and bought 10 to 15 different meal replacement shakes, vanilla flavoured, and didn't tell them what they were, and gave them a piece of paper that sort of they had to rate it based on the taste, the texture, how much sugar they think is in it, how much would you spend for this. And after a bit of trial and error, actually we ranked in like the top 3 from everyone out of that. So there was some trial, a bit of blind testing, which was pretty cool to do a bit of research on it. But,
I feel like that also would have been nerve-wracking, like watching them go, oh my God, please pick ours as the nicest one, please.
I was so nervous when I did it. I kind of wanted, you couldn't say anything. That was the rule. But it was such a relief when everyone was like, oh, that one was pretty good. And it's like, that was ours, thank God.
Yeah. They spat one out, and I was like, oh, please don't be ours.
Yeah, and you couldn't tell because we had no idea. We mixed them completely until the very end.
Yeah.
That was one thing we worked really hard with our manufacturer on, was the consistency.
Yeah.
And a very smooth product that one rinse with water and it washes, the residue is gone.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the other meal replacement shakes that we've tested would get stuck in your shaker. That's one thing we worked really hard on.
I think it was really important to not only say the product does what we're claiming it to do, but also have that taste factor without overloading it with sugar. So we wanted it to be tasty, that doesn't sort of have that grainy sort of feel to it, that doesn't make you feel bloated at the end of it, and like I said, not loaded full of sugar. So to try and find that, I guess that right fit took a little bit of time, but we're quite confident in the product that we've got now. It's good, and we're getting some good reviews and or feedback on it. Yeah, the results have been amazing. We've got like consistent customers that are coming back to us now with whether it be the weight loss that they're getting from it, their skin, hair, nails, just overall health. So it's the results we're getting is unbelievable, and I'm super proud of how and what people are saying about it as well.
And not just mine workers either, like it's shift workers from AMBOs to doctors, any shift worker you've had feedback.
And worldwide too, so we tapped into the US and UK, and that's the thing as well, like we're all miners and we just think shift working, mining, just the one thing, but there's so many roles out there that involves abnormal hours, like the nurses, the paramedics, the fireys, the police force. There's so many people, the first responders, that are now having Night Revive to improve their health and also their work life as well.
Yeah.
Even like rideshare, like Uber drivers, they're like so
that's true.
They're like we're getting feedback from all sorts of people around the world, and especially around Australia, about the different types of jobs they're doing, and it surprises us every day we hear about it. So some industries that we didn't even think of, but it's good to know that it's reaching a lot of different types of industries out there.
Exactly. And I'm sure I saw a review pop up on your socials that was from like a paramedic who'd normally go through the drive-through, get KFC, get Macca's, but are now on the shakes and feel just so much better.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I guess that's sort of where it all stemmed from. Like, it's sort of come off a lot of my own experience as well in the mining. When you first start out there, no one really gives you a package on, hey, here's how to manage your health, your sleep. So you sort of really go through a lot of trial and error with it, and you sort of work out pretty quickly that you can't just duck into Macca's drive-through on the way home from work or during work, depending on where you are working. or eating leftover chicken carbonara at 12:30 at night, because you're definitely going to find out how it affects you. So
Exactly.
you know, really the whole thing with Night Work Nutrition and Night Revive is it's not going to solve all your problems. It's a bit of a band-aid to get you through to breakfast, but look, if you're going to be eating during that night time, you want something that's going to fill you up with the right protein, the right fibres, all the essential minerals and vitamins, and as well as something that's going to give you a little bit of a energy boost as well. So that's where when it comes to formulating, that's what we're sort of aiming for, to sort of give you all the things that you do need without sort of packing on too many calories. And I guess that's where we are at the moment, and people are seeing results all around.
I think too, like once you start taking the shake, it also makes you think about the other meals that you're eating, and that's what a lot of the feedback has been. Like you're willingly going out to buy this to help your life, and then it makes you think about, oh, I'll start exercising, and you know the meals where I'm not having the shake, I'll have something that's a bit more healthy, and that's some of the really good positive things that have come out of it as well. That's changed their whole perspective, I guess. Yeah.
And another thing as well is just the conveniency of it as well. Like,
Yes.
you know, if you're someone, let's say a nurse, for example, that's busy at a hospital running around, you probably don't have time to, you know, sit down and have that meal, or the right sort of places like cafeterias or restaurants or whatever aren't really open at that time. You can't just duck into Woolies and get something, you know, at that time of night. So having something you can just chuck in your bag, you know, you've always got access to water, quick shake, and then off you go. So if you're driving a haul truck, you know, you can sort of do that quite easily. And also the convenience as well of it takes that meal prepping aspect out as well. So you're not having to spend that day before making, you know, 20 odd meals or whatever it may be.
Exactly.
You can actually use that time to spend with your family, and at least you know you've got something there to get you through the night.
Yeah, that's it. And you guys are obviously like a couple of years in, you've already grown so much. You've got 3 flavours now. And as you said, shipping worldwide, which is massive.
And that's the thing, like it can seem really glamorous on Instagram, and you watch the reels that we're making, and we're having a bit of fun.
The reels.
And we're trying to have a bit of fun and engaging. But
That's an understatement.
like there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, you know, Jim running ad campaigns and
Email
and
marketing.
like late nights, and even just packing orders. Like there's a lot to business that seems really glamorous, but it's just hard work.
We're still doing shift work ourselves. We're still doing our normal role.
Yeah, it's just side hustle.
This is the thing, and it's like you look at both jobs the exact same. You look at Night Work Nutrition, you look at our mining careers, and if you love both, you can do it. And that's like, hopefully we can inspire a lot of people to take that leap as well, to go into business and to do other things as well with their time off. Like we shift work as well, we get a great amount of time off, and I think we just used it to our advantage, just to do something for ourselves and also help a lot of people out there.
No, you go, Jess.
I was going to say, it's nice to support local too. I mean, I don't know where the Project Arate, I don't know if he works in mining or not, but it's nice to see local businesses like you guys and like them pop up, and it's such a great quality product.
Yes.
It's that's a really good story, because that's my brother-in-law.
There you go.
And honestly,
There's a connection somewhere.
But what is really motivating for us is seeing another person do something very similar, or
And you know,
getting an idea and just going,
Exactly.
do it.
let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's get together and let's do it. And both our businesses have crossed paths many times. We're sharing ideas all the time.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice to start building a little community of people doing something similar, and just get out there and have a crack.
It's funny because like a lot of people refer to us as entrepreneurs, but we just consider ourselves just having a crack. That's all it is. We're having a go at this business and getting this idea off the ground.
Yeah.
And if anything, I thought starting Night Work Nutrition would make you less motivated in your own job, but if anything, it's actually making me more motivated to stay in the mining industry. I don't know, just everything we learn keeps pushing us further and further, and you know,
There's so many things that we learnt in mining that has now came into the business, and everything that we've learned in the business we're now using in mining as well. So it's like it's helping both.
Yeah, and I say, you know, in supporting something local, but you can also trust you guys. Like, you're in the industry, you get it.
Yeah.
You know what it's
That's-
like to do the shift
And
work.
that's why we labelled us for shift workers by shift workers.
Exactly.
We know exactly what it's like to do shift work. We've done it for many years now. We can see the struggles, and it's good when people can reach out to us and we can relate to them. They understand. We know what it feels like. We know what the sleep pattern's like. That's why we made a sleep mask as well, to help with the sleep.
I love that sleep
The
mask.
sleep
I'm not
mask.
a shift worker,
Yeah,
but every night.
yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
great. It's great.
Blocks out all the
It
light.
does.
Froth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to touch on that as well, like I think from the inception of this business, like it didn't come from let's start a business to make heaps of money and get out of mining and do this. It came from just off our own struggles, our own problems of, putting on weight and trying to find the right nutrition to
Yeah.
have
The mood
while working.
swings.
That's right. And then
Yeah.
sleep, disrupted sleep. So when it comes from our own problem and to create this to fix it for ourselves and then also our workmates and then now everyone around, the whole business side of things just sort of just comes off the back of that. So, you made mention of some local businesses are doing the same thing. Everyone's just there to try and, help other people in the likewise situation. So no one's coming in as a big investor from overseas to try and make money and do this. Obviously, money is the fuel to drive business and that is going to be an important aspect of it, but it's not our whole mantra, it's not our whole mission focus or anything like that. It's all about, looking after the health and wellness of shift workers like around Australia, around the world, really. So we're just thankful that we actually make a bit of money off it to put straight back into it, just keep growing. And we take a lot of satisfaction out of seeing the reviews and the feedback from people and seeing photos and videos like, hey, look how much weight I've dropped, or my skin's looking good, or, I'm actually feeling better at work and can push through. Like that's more of a drive for us than seeing, we've done X amount of money in sales, So that's the whole drive behind it. And that's where it started from the original when we decided to kick this off and where it is today for years in.
I'll tell you what, it's pretty motivating, and I'm sure you guys will be the same, seeing like we're getting a lot of people now that are subscribing weekly. So it's like they're using this shake every day of their life, and it's so motivating for us to, keep developing new flavors and new products and and be there for those people that need the support, and it's fantastic.
What have been, maybe from each of you from different perspectives, what have some of the challenges been along the way?
I reckon stepping out of the comfort zone big time. There's a lot of things that personally, like, I'm no good on computers or I like the marketing side of things, and I've had to learn how to create ads and content and become like a content creator, which is something I've never really had to do or dive into. But I think stepping out of the comfort zone is definitely a big challenge, but it's also it's so satisfying being able to do that. So I think the tech side of things, still learning behind the scenes sort of stuff, but I think stepping out of the comfort zone.
I think making an Instagram reel in your dressing gown was pretty confronting, but we got through that.
Oh, that was so cringy. I loved it.
But I think like that's some of the part of it's a part of
That's
you're
what
not
you gotta do
expecting.
now, right?
Like a lot of it's showing people the journey and just having a bit of fun.
Like
but
the awkward silence when we create a reel and then we sit there for a couple of seconds going, "Well, do we do this?" And we just go, press it, and then you watch the reactions, you watch the engagement you get, and it's funny, it's cringy, but we also got to show the professional side of things as well. It's good to have that bit of show the people who we really are. We're pretty funny dudes, and we spread that humour.
And like, there's still a lot of things that Jim does behind the scenes that we have no idea how to run certain ad campaigns the way he does, and like that's still something that we have to learn as a team.
And
but
I gotta learn how to do the cringy stuff.
we're waiting to get in.
Waiting for our mate Jim to pop up
Yeah.
and
We've
realise
got-
that.
We've got something in the pipeline, so
Yeah, I think for me, apart from getting on the camera and doing that stuff, the challenging things I find is just the little things in business that no one sort of tells you about. You think that all these little things, like, they'll sort themselves out. Well, they don't. You have to sort it out. So, and I'm sure anyone out there that's ever ran a business, whether it be e-commerce or even, lawn mowing company or anything like that, there is a lot of little nuances and things like that you sort of really got to tackle. And the thing with the little things is once they build up, they turn into lots of things. And then lots of things, you can get big things out of that. So it's just all about, I guess, time management and educating yourself, really. So it's a lot more cost effective to sort of do it yourself rather than outsource a lot of the work. So it's just all about constantly being on the ball, keep sort of learning as you go through the business. Like, none of us got a business degree. None of us has really ran a business to this extent in e-commerce. Well, apart from Joe, I guess, in a way, but
Not at this level.
Not at this level.
This is a whole new, this is a big level.
So no one really taught us. There's no mentorship or any degree or anything like that. So you just got to learn as you go along. From little things of designing the packaging to running the ads and getting how to do getting in front of the camera and editing and all that sort of stuff. So I guess just those little things that you got to keep learning along the way.
There's no playbook either, like how no one really tells you, you need to set up a Xero account to do all your tax returns and your accounting, and then it's like, how do we set that up? And like battling through BAS statements and the boring side of business that no one really talks about, but they're like such crucial things.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it though. I love it. I love sort of constantly learning about it and having the bottlenecks and the hurdles that you got to get over and using that problem solving skills and us going away and going, righto, how are we going to do this? Like, I think that's all part of the fun, really. It can be challenging at times, it can be frustrating, we can clash heads at times, but, once you sort of just get through it and having the same goal at the end of it and how we're going to achieve it, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. But it can be challenging.
It helps having the three of us, we're all so completely different, and that's what, it's just, it does help because so there's three different inputs going into it. We're all looking at three different ways. Yeah. And then you just make the team work and it just forms one good recipe. So
have there been any arguments?
Oh yeah, we've had one. We've had one good one.
Yeah. There has, but like, hey, husbands and wives fight all the time and they still love each other.
That's it.
It was bound to happen. It's got to happen. But the thing is, you don't take it personal. It's business. You've got to have the business side of things, the friendship side of things. We're mates before the business. The friendship comes first. Say what you need to say, get it out in the open, put it on the table, get back to work.
Yeah, and like I found, if I'm going to sort of relate this a little bit to being in a band, I used to be in a band, and when you've got 5 guys in the band to try to create a song, you've all got different inputs on how you want to do it, but at the end of the day, you want the same result, a good song. And the thing is, when they sort of cross, you can get arguments, but once you sort of try things out and look from the other person's perspective and work on it, by the end of it, once you hear that song for the first time, you're stoked, you're happy. Yeah. It's the same thing with business. I might want to look at this in this direction and not explain the reason why, and Lockie might say something otherwise or jive, but once we sort of go through and really sort of hash it out, we work out, we're all there for the same goal at the end of it. You just can get frustrating, sleepless nights, but it all comes down to communication and respect. And the thing is as well, we have that openness between ourselves, that transparency, that if there is a bit of a problem, we can raise it rather than go away and kick stones about it. We can sort of address it. But to answer your question, it's been and look, there probably will be some more, but hey, look, that's
BS. It is a high pressure environment. We're working long hours, long nights. We're all becoming quite successful in our own right, our own jobs. There's a lot of other, pressures all the time. But like Jim said, usually we're very open and honest and able to talk about things, and then get each other in a headlock and then sort it out, and then it's done. The next day, everyone moves on, and what's next? What do we need to do next?
Exactly. You have to, otherwise it just becomes such a toxic environment, and you just can't get yourself out of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So.
And it's better to go in there and like I said, hash it all out rather than have a big smile on your face and then your head just going, oh, what a doing.
What's next for Nightwork Nutrition?
Yeah, that's a good question. Look, I think as the business grows, we want to sort of keep bringing out new flavours. We want to sort of touch a little bit more into helping people with their sleep. A lot of the problem with sleep and nutrition is probably what we're mainly focused on, because it's we see a lot of people struggling with those two things within their shift work. So if we can release something else out there that helps them with their sleep, whether it be some sort of multivitamin or something like that. We don't want to give away too many of our things we've got up our sleeves, but we're just going to keep growing ourselves as shift workers, as I guess business owners, entrepreneurs, if you want to call us that. And yeah, just really keep helping people and getting the product out there, and the education side of things as well. We want to keep educating people and helping them through this, and let them all know that if they're struggling, whether it be with their mental health or physical health, we're always there. Our email's always up there. We've got phone number there. If anyone just wants to reach out for help, we'll help them as best we can, or steer them to sort of more professional help.
I must say that's one thing we're really good at too is the commitment we show to, I wouldn't say customers, but our community. Like every time we get an email or a direct message on social media, between the three of us, we always answer as quick as we possibly can, and we can either point them in the right direction. We may have the answers for it, but we always want to be there to show people that, like I said, we are you. We know what it's like, and we're here to listen and help you as well.
Yeah. And hey, like if you do message us and it's late at night and you think, oh, probably shouldn't send it now, good chance we're up.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. So like I've had that before, someone messaged and I'll write back straight away. Like, what the hell are you doing awake at 2:30 in the morning? I'm out there slobbering about too, brother. I know.
On crib break.
Yeah, on the crib break. Yeah, we just want to keep growing the business and keep growing ourselves. So, look, we'd love to get out there and retail as well, and have that sort of as more of an accessible for people as well that can get down to the shops and get it from there. So, yeah, we'll just sort of see where the future takes us, but we keep grinding it out, and we'd love to do a lot more flavours. I think, the 3 flavours we've got is pretty good now.
It's a staple.
But more flavours would be great, and more different products as well. I think that's definitely in the pipeline in the future.
And speaking of flavours, just to end on, everyone's favourite flavour?
I like chocolate.
Jim's a bit of a vanilla guy.
I'm a bit vanilla. I've actually probably been leaning more towards chocolate lately.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a strawberry guy.
I love the strawberry. It's really good.
We're coming going anyways. There's a lot of people that mix the flavours as well.
Yeah, a few people.
Chocolate,
Strawberry and vanilla that people have mixed it.
I reckon chocolate and vanilla taste like
cookies and cream. Cookies and cream.
And I'm not sure about any other industries, but I'm pretty fortunate. Get to work, get an ice machine, shake a cup straight in with ice. Have an ice chocolate. It just gets me done every morning.
Actually
got a coffee shot in it?
Yeah.
Well, I used to do that with a vanilla, and it was the best.
Yeah.
Saw someone have the chocolate on their ice cream the other day.
Oh.
It's like a bit of a topping.
Yeah.
Didn't expect to see that, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%.
Works.
Yeah. Get creative. Actually, that's
and let us know. Send it through.
Get creative.
There's a reel in that, guys.
Let us know what you're doing with these shakes.
Because we've not nutrition.
Put a dressing gown on and make a shake. And send it to us.
Yeah. Make us not the only ones doing this stuff.
Exactly. On that note, boys, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast. It's been a hoot.
No, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
That's today's episode of Digging Deeper. Thanks to New South Wales mining responsibly for today and tomorrow. Meet more awesome people working in mining in New South Wales on social media. Just search New South Wales Mining or go to responsiblemining.com.au. That's our first episode for the year done and dusted. Make sure you leave us a rating or a review wherever you're listening to this episode, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever it might be. If you've got an idea for an episode or a guest, please shoot me an email, jess@thecoalface.net.au. And until next time.